The Public Utilities Commission announced today that it had granted permission for the Ceylon Electricity Board to increase electricity tariffs with effect from the 12th of April. Now, thus far, electricity bills were compiled with specific unit prices for unit consumption brackets. Accordingly, the unit price was 3 rupees from 0 to 30 units, 4 rupees and 70 cents from 31 to 60 units, and 7 rupees and 50 cents from 61 to 90 units. However, what is notable about the new revisions is that while the unit prices for each of the categories have been increased, the bill for the number of units consumed will be calculated accordingly. Now, accordingly, the electricity bill for a household which consumed 90 units of electricity will increase from 982 rupees to 1,161 rupees. If you are a consumer who consumes 90 units of electricity, this is how your bill will be calculated. However, if you consume just one more unit, more than 90 units, this is how it will affect the calculation. Under this system, a household consuming 90 units of electricity will receive a bill for 1,161 rupees, while a household which consumes 91 units will receive a bill for a whopping 2,226 rupees. Welcome back to the news. Let's take a look at the newspaper cartoon of the day. And it's time now for a short commercial break.
Coming up later on in the news. German giants Bayern Munich thrash Wolfsburg 6-1 to reach German Cup finals. All the action on Sports Buzz. Welcome back to the news.
The newly elected Board of Officials of Sri Lanka Cricket assumed duties today.
The Board of Officials of Sri Lanka Cricket for the next 2 years were elected yesterday. Thereby newly appointed President of SLC Jayantha Dharmadasa, Secretary Nishantha Ranatunga and other officials assumed duties following religious observances.
ඊයේ වෙනකන් කණ්ඩායම් කීපයකින් තරඟ වැදුනා. නමුත් ඊයේ ඡන්දයෙන් පස්සේ
Until yesterday there was competition among several groups, but we in the cricket administration should be of service to everyone. The President wanted me to inform everyone that all of us should set aside our differences and work towards the development of cricket.
දෙනාටම ක්‍රිකට් ක්‍රීඩාවේ දියුණුව සඳහා කටයුතු කරගෙන යන ලෙස තමයි සභාපතිතුමා සියලු දෙනාට දන්වන්න කිව්වේ.
Investigations are in full swing following the deadly explosions at the Boston Marathon on Monday. News First Nicola De Zoiza has more.
Welcome to the International Desk. Authorities in the United States say that bombs that exploded at the Boston Marathon were likely to have been heavy, carried to the scene in dark nylon bags, and fashioned out of pressure cookers packed with shrapnel to make them more lethal. Bomb scene pictures taken by investigators and released yesterday show the remains of an explosive device, including twisted pieces of a metal container, wires, a battery, and what appears to be a small circuit board. One photograph shows a few inches of charred wire attached to a small box, and another shows a half-inch nail and a zipper head stained with blood. Another shows a battery attached to black and red wires through a broken plastic cap. Several photos show a twisted metal lid with bolts. At the scene of the marathon, investigators recovered material that was being reconstructed at the FBI laboratory in Quantico, Virginia. The twin blasts on Monday killed 3 people, including an 8-year-old boy, and injured 176 others, some of whom were maimed by bombs packed with ball bearings and nails. Meanwhile, the mayor of Medford, Massachusetts, said the second of 3 people killed in Monday's bomb attack at the Boston Marathon was identified yesterday as Crystal Campbell. Patty Campbell, Crystal Campbell's mother, fought through the tears as she spoke to reporters outside her home in Medford, Massachusetts, about her daughter.
We are heartbroken at the death of our daughter, Crystal Marie. She was a wonderful person. Everybody that knew her loved her. She loved her dogs. She used to dine girl. She had a heart of gold. She was always smiling and friendly. You couldn't ask for a better daughter. We can't believe this has happened. She was such a hard worker at everything she did. This doesn't make any sense.
Michael McGlynn said he had confirmed the death with Campbell's father, William Campbell. Earlier, the family of 8-year-old Martin Richard confirmed their son's death in the incident. The identity of the third person killed has not been released. In addition to the 3 people killed, more than 170 others were hurt in the 2 blasts on Monday afternoon.
Meanwhile, a powerful earthquake struck a border area of southeast Iran yesterday, killing at least 35 people in neighboring Pakistan and destroying hundreds of houses and shaking buildings as far away as India and the Gulf Arab states. Communications with the sparsely populated desert and mountain region were largely cut off, making it difficult to assess Iranian casualties. But an Iranian provincial governor later said that there were no reports of deaths there so far. Pakistani officials said at least 30 people were killed and 150 injured in the town of Mashkil in southwestern the Pakistani province of Baluchistan, which borders Iran. Television pictures showed collapsed houses and villagers clearing debris and the injured receiving treatment in medical camps. Pakistan's army said it had deployed troops and helicopters to ferry tents, medicines and medical teams to Mashkil.
Time now for Action TV.
Considering the fact that the dawn of the Sinhala Tamil New Year fell on a weekend, steps were taken to give a holiday to public and private sector workers on Monday, the 15th of April as well. Although public and private sector institutions were open for business yesterday, in accordance with this holiday, there was a notable drop in the number of employees reporting to work in certain public sector institutions. Today was a special day for public sector institutions, as the heads of these institutions should remain in their workplaces to hear and resolve the problems presented to them by the public in person. Heads of public institutions have been ordered to do this through a public administration circular and a set of guidelines issued by the Secretary to the President. Although school teachers give priority to meeting with high officials to resolve their service problems during the school holidays, they had no alternative but to do this on a Wednesday. Against this backdrop, the responsible parties at the Chilao Zonal Education Office took measures to close their main doors today. This is because there was no responsible party to hear the troubles brought there today by teachers and members of the public. Although a notice had been put up that the Zonal Education Director had gone to the Presidential Secretariat, there was no meeting or discussion held at the Presidential Secretariat today, as mentioned in this notice. Shouldn't action be taken against the responsible persons at the Chilao Zonal Education Office for dragging down the name of one of the highest officers in this country, in addition to their blatant disregard for instructions issued by the state to ensure better public service? Director of Education for the Northwestern Province, over to you.
News First U reporter Suranga Wijayaratna filed this report from Ratnapura.
At about 6:30 in the evening yesterday, a body was found in the seas off the coast of the Balapiria hospital. A group of youth subsequently brought the body ashore.
Mama news station you reporter Watakaru Suranga Wijayaratna Ratnapura Sita.
The owner and matron of a children's home in Madhavata Mavanalla are arrested on suspicion of abusing 5 underage girls in their camp. court orders the closure of a room at the Ranmutukula Certified Girls' School, which was used to harass girls as punishment. 11 girls who fled from the Kaithdi Juvenile Detention Centre in Jaffna are found. The warden of the centre is arrested after information comes to light that a child was abused there. Shouldn't a program be initiated to prevent such incidents from taking place at children's homes?
The final rites of Khairun Nisa Sanum Sali, the mother of the leader of the Muslim Tamil National Alliance Azad Sali, were performed this morning. Khairun Nisa Sanum Sali passed away yesterday at a private hospital in Colombo. She was 71 years old at the time of her passing. She was Senior Minister H.M. Fauzi's elder sister and a loving mother of 8 children. The final rites were performed at the Kupiawat Muslim burial grounds this morning. Starting off your sports news this evening, the Sri Lankan under-19 team posted 185 runs on day 2 of their 4-day match against Bangladesh under-19 at the Silhit Stadium in Bangladesh today. After only 5 overs were bowled on day 1 due to inclement weather, Sri Lanka resumed batting on day 2 on 23 for no loss. They were bowled out for 185 with skipper Kusal Mendes top scoring for the Lankans with 54 runs. Jubei Hossain bagged 4 wickets for 35 runs for the home team. Batting in reply, Bangladesh were 19 for no loss at stumps. Staying in the game, Pakistan cricketers Salman Butt and Mohammad Asif have lost their appeals at the Court of Arbitration for Sport to have their bans from cricket overturned. Former Pakistan captain Salman Butt, fast bowlers Mohammad Asif and Mohammad Amir were found guilty of spot fixing in 2011. Butt is banned for 10 years with 5 years suspended, while Asif is banned for 7 years with 2 suspended. Their appeals were rejected today at the Court of Arbitration. Mohammad Amir, who was also banned for 5 years, did not appeal.
And in news we just received, a letter addressed to President Barack Obama containing a suspicious substance was received at a White House mail-in screening facility. The White House said the facility is remote and not located near the White House itself. It added that this facility routinely identifies letters or parcels that require secondary screening or scientific testing before delivery. Yesterday, U.S. authorities intercepted letters sent to Mississippi Senator Roger Wicker that preliminary tests showed contained a deadly poison.
And the name Eric Clapton is synonymous with the guitar, but imagine having the opportunity to witness not only Clapton but 29 other legendary and upcoming guitarists live on the same stage.
New York's at Madison Square Garden had such a rare opportunity when Clapton brought together over 30 musicians for the latest edition of his Crossroads Guitar Festival over the weekend.
Although it's equal to seeing guitar gods live, we leave you tonight with some footage of their performances at the festival. I'm Shane Silva.
And I'm Krishna Panditharatna.
She loves, yes she does, yes she does. And if somebody really loved me like she does, oh yes she does.